Welcome and thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Beyond 50 radio program. I'm Daniel Davis. It's Valentine's Day, and we thought we would throw another curveball at you as we have all week long in celebration of us bringing together and recognizing love between a couple, perhaps a family, however you decide to celebrate Valentine's Day. But today we're going to be talking about how you can awaken your heart with Feng Shui. Wait a minute, you're pausing here for a minute. What does Feng Shui have to do with Valentine's Day? Why don't we find out how we can do that as we talk with Cindy Garreton of the Pacific Northwest Design Group, which is located in Portland, Oregon. She is a Feng Shui practitioner. She's trainer of the ancient art of placement from China. We're going to learn how to work with the energies of the environment that you live in to create a happy heart and loving atmosphere to make space for relationships to come into your life. And it's all based on the dynamic principles of Feng Shui. Cindy Garreton, how are you today?
I'm great, Daniel.
Listen to that enthusiasm. You must be in what would be known as the radio projection room.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about Feng Shui. A lot of people have heard this term over the years, and some people, think that it's a great practice. Some really believe in it, and then some think, well, maybe this is hokey pokey, but I, for one, really believe in the energy that Feng Shui actually presents. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, well, for me, Feng Shui is really a lifestyle of kind of bringing awareness to your environment. We're constantly surrounded by energy, and when you look around, there's more energy than there is physical objects. So it'd be kind of silly to think that that energy didn't affect us the way I think of it. In Feng Shui, we call this energy Qi, or life force energy, and it ties everything together. And in my study, we just looked on how to lift the energy and bring vitality to you and your surroundings. So it affects us on so many different levels, subconsciously and consciously. And it's a real study to learn how to be mindful of what's around you and your home and your office. And I've seen it change many lives over and over again. It's interesting because as humans, we are very adaptable. And sometimes we really don't realize the space that we're living in that's around us and how it can be compromising us, even in our health. And even to the point sometimes of creating depression in certain ways. We just get used to living in a certain way. So as a practitioner, I just have a lot of different tools that I use through the use of ancient techniques and very basic techniques using green products and studying the architecture and the furniture layouts and using color and bringing nature into our homes to kind of change that and make it feel vital and very welcoming as you walk into a space. Mm-hmm. But today we just want to concentrate on giving some simple suggestions for lifting the Qi in regards to relationships. So what a fun topic for Valentine's Day.
I think so, too. And, one of the things that I wanted to ask about, since, color is an important part of how a person feels. You can have a gray day, and for many of us who have that experience, we don't tend to feel so good, kind of down and out. But then when it's sunny, blue skies, there's yellow, there's the sun, we feel upbeat and there's a pep in our step. But what I was curious about, for instance, is you walk into stores, you tend to see a lot of red when it comes to Valentine's Day. Is that really a good thing to be using a lot of in a room where you're trying to promote a loving atmosphere?
Actually, there are different colors associated with different sectors of your life, like in health or career or relationships. And red does happen to be one of the colors of relationship and love, and I think it oftentimes represents passion. So it represents that vital, passionate energy in a loving relationship. And relationships obviously can be romantic relationships, or they can be relationships with friends, or colleagues or whatever your emphasis is. Today we're more on the romantic end of things, but yes, red can represent passion in so many ways. And going into the elements, it represents fire. So you always want a balance. You never want too much fire or too little. We're always looking for that balance. But it's what gives us that vital energy to create successful relationships so that they're not dull or they don't start to fizzle out. So in answer to your question, yes, red is a good color. So they did a good study on that.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it possible that you could use too much of this and maybe create maybe a little aggravation? Because red is also an alarming color as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I was saying about balance, and that's what we're always looking for when we, for example, walk through a home or office. You just need, and red isn't a color that you would always put in your bedroom or in a certain room. You don't always want that, and there's other colors associated as well. White and pink are also colors that are associated with romance. But it might just be a touch of it. You might just need a touch. Or if it doesn't feel good, if red doesn't feel good in the room at all, by all means don't put it in. Add something that does make that person feel good. It's all about resonating with the person and their space. It's not, like dictating what they have to do.
I know it's funny when you finally, apply particular rules that there are many people out there very black and white. They just play by the rules, but you're actually saying you need to be a lot more flexible about this.
It is so true, and I found that so often, and over the years, because I've studied at different schools of Feng Shui, and some are more strict than others, and I kind of take in the things that feel good to me and the things that have worked in the past. But I do know that it's extremely important to have whatever it is that I'm explaining to the person resonate with them on a really deep level, so that when they look at it, they understand not only why we did it, but they feel good about it. They say, "Oh, that looks awesome," or "That feels good," Mm-hmm. So that's the key point in it. And again, going back to balance, not overdoing one thing. One person might love red. They might want a red room, and it might feel really super, super good to them, whereas another person just might want a small, very small touch of something. So it's all about that and creating the balance and the flow for that person. So that's what I thrive for.
Now, what are some of the other materials besides colors that you suggest people work with?
Well, there's a lot of different things. One of the things that we use in Feng Shui is called a Bagua map, and basically it's shaped like a tic-tac-toe board, and it's placed over the floor plan of the home, and it's placed over the home, and then the front door is the starting point. So you go into the front door and go to the different sectors of your home that have to do with career, relationship, fame, abundance, and different things like that. So the Bagua map is one of the tools we use, and for relationships, the relationship sector is located in the back far right area of the home. So if you go in your front door and you look to that back side of your home on the right, that's kind of the area where a relationship is, and it doesn't matter what room is there. You can enhance that area by doing several different things, and one, of course, is just to clear the clutter. We've all heard about that. Just cleaning out a space and making sure that it doesn't have a lot of clutter can make all the difference in the world. And it's so funny when people walk into those areas and they go, "Oh no, this is my relationship sector. I'm in big trouble. I can't walk through this area." So just clearing out that energy creates room for new opportunities to come in, and it gets rid of stagnant energy. That's just kind of common sense. Just kind of cleans it out and starts fresh, as it would if you were painting a room. You know, when you paint a room and you get all that fresh energy in there, and it feels so good, and then you don't want to put anything back in it because you feel like it's so fresh and clean, and then you start with the things that mean the most to you, and you put those in there. It's that concept in Feng Shui. You want to just create a space that's clear and surrounding you with things that make you feel really good. Mm-hmm. So in relationship, that would be a good place to start. Mm-hmm. A really good place to start. So.
Well, that, and you're also setting up an intention or a magnification, if you will, that you're sort of putting it out there that I want to draw this to me, and you can't do that if a space is all cluttered with stuff.
And, you know, it's true, and intention is one of the key pieces in Feng Shui, and so often people are not mindful of that. They are unconscious in so many ways of that, that it's such an important piece of that. I mean, even cleaning your home and putting the intent into it of what you want to create is so powerful. So when you clear the space with your intent, it's amazing really what can happen. And like I said, it's just concentrating and staying focused on what you want, and it just creates a clear surrounding, brings in more clarity for everything. So it's a good start, and you're right, intention.
Now, Cindy, how have you seen this work for people? Give us an idea, maybe a story of someone you worked with who was trying to attract a relationship, and what needed to happen and what actually happened once you initiated the process.
Oh, boy, I've got some fun stories there. One client was having trouble with always getting in relationships with three people. It seemed like there was always somebody else, and she said, I just want a relationship with one person, one solid relationship. What can I do? You know, and I want you to, come over here and take a look. So in her relationship sector, it happened to be her bedroom, which was advantageous to her, but she had threes of everything, symbolic. She had like 3 pillows on her bed, 3 pieces of art. She actually had 3 teddy bears. It was just symbolized all around her bedroom. And she goes, oh, I just thought that was a good number for design.
It's a good thing she didn't have 7, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, she changed that, and she actually got into a relationship within about 3 months of our consult, and it's fun. I see these kind of things happen all the time. Another example was a married couple that were about ready to throw in the towel, really, and I didn't know that till I got there, and they didn't even tell me about their troubles. And I went into the relationship sector of the home and noticed a huge cracked wall. And I said, wow, what's going on here? And they said, oh, our foundation is falling in this side of the house. It was an old turn-of-the-century home, and there was actually below that floor, part of the wall was coming in the basement, and the foundation had actually been falling in, just like the foundation of their marriage. It was just incredible, and they were just amazed. And just like the home, that they hadn't had that be a priority because they'd had other things going on, but it was becoming a big priority. Their marriage was going to become a big priority, and in the whole movement of fixing the foundation, they worked on healing their marriage, and it's pretty profound. It's pretty amazing to see what happens, and just having. I mean, I believe that people sometimes move into homes to create lessons for themselves and lessons that they're learning in their lives, and the home supports them all the way in that. So it's all very interesting to me. I mean, of course.
Now, do you have men who usually like to come and ask for your assistance?
Absolutely, yeah. There's quite a few men that are interested in it, and also for businesses, it starts in the home. You really need to start with the home, but then going into businesses, it makes a big difference. And there's a lot of men who take it very seriously. I would say that the biggest percentage of men, it starts with their business, but they work into their home to do it. So, it's not just a woman thing. So Donald Trump in New York is one of the biggest fans of Feng Shui there is. He works with Feng Shui practitioners from all over the world in his buildings. So it's been around quite a while, and also, in different cities, it's of course, like some of the Asian cities, it's bigger, but it's pretty profound. And when you think about what's around you and what's supporting you, it only makes sense, It only, when you put it all together, it makes a lot of sense. And basically that's what it is instead of woo-woo. When you really get into the meat of it, you realize it's, there's a lot of sense to this. So.
Now, what about people who are in relationships? Does this help them as well?
Absolutely. Doing any of the things that you would do to attract a new love or romantic partner, you could do if you have one, like in a marriage, which is pretty constant work, and you always want to freshen the chi. You could even create a little altar in your bedroom or in your relationship sector, kind of dedicated to your spouse. You could it can be as simple as a photo, maybe with a white scarf or cloth under it, and you could put a couple candles there just to dedicate a space, and basically dedicating an awareness to that person. And you can light the candles on a daily basis. You can put their photos in the relationship sector with the intent to create maybe more clarity or communication with them, a clear communication, whatever it is that you might need. Again, it goes back to intent. And not only is the relationship sector important, but the bedroom itself is extremely important in Feng Shui to look at not only the way the furniture is arranged, but also it should feel like a really true sanctuary when you walk in. It should feel calm and relaxing, like you've just landed and you're at home, and you don't have a huge TV on the wall, because TVs in Feng Shui can act as a third person, actually. They can be a big distraction in relationships. So there's little things like that you can take into consideration, and you want to get the work out of your bedroom so that you don't have a desk next to you, so you're constantly looking at that instead of possibly thinking about relaxing or talking to your spouse or your significant other and really enjoying them. So there's a lot of different little small points that they can do to enhance it and to increase the energy in a room, along with, again, clearing the clutter and just cleaning or using their intention. So much you can do for an already solidified relationship.
Pretty exciting stuff for people to understand. Now, what about positioning in rooms? I know that that's important, too, as well, about, east, west, north, and south.
Yeah, there's different schools in Feng Shui, and in Compass School, the directional is very important about which way your bed is placed in your best directions, et cetera, et cetera. In other schools, in Western schools, Black Sect, and interior alignment, and different schools of Feng Shui, they look more at having a good foundation for your bed or having it in a command position so that when you walk into your room, the bed is of utmost importance because it's where you're at for 8 hours or more a day. So it's very important that you're in a good position so that you have very good sleep. And the bed should be placed in a place where it's not under a window or too close to a window. And if it is, there's different remedies you can do. But it should be on a solid wall with a headboard and lifted off the ground a little bit so that chi can flow under it so that you're constantly getting this vital energy under the bed also. So there's a lot of things to look at in that case. We look at all kinds of things. If it's close to a bathroom, if it's in the traffic flow from a doorway, there's a lot of different things to look at for the bed position, and that is a really important part in Feng Shui of the bedroom and the office and different areas of the home. So it's important so that you have a really restful sleep so that you can be at your best and not be grouchy or or actually it can affect your health. So we really take a close look at those things and get it on a good solid wall where you have a good eye on where the door is, where somebody's coming in, and what we call the command position, so that you can always see who's coming in your room when you're in bed. So that's called the command position, and it's important to create that. So, good question, Daniel.
Well, it made me think also, for people who are in relationships already, have you ever worked with, let's say, a couple, and things just weren't going so good for them, and they decided to do a little arrangement? Did it improve the relationship?
Oh, absolutely. Command position of your bed can improve everything. It can improve your business, your relationships, your health. It just, because of the fact, like I mentioned before, that you spend so much time in your bed sleeping. It's, a third of your life, the 24 hours of the day. It's important to have that calm effect and grounded effect. So you absolutely can see a difference in the bed placement for people. And it's like I said before, people get used to certain ways and they don't even realize it, how they were feeling until it changed. And then they notice the difference. So absolutely.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's just always so exciting. Sometimes, as I had mentioned earlier, people look at this and they'll dismiss it as, this is kind of crazy. But there's a lot of reality into working with the energies like this and to how it really affects your health as well as your relationships with people.
Absolutely. I mean, and just a small little piece of what you see when you wake up, what's on the wall, or little things like that. Your dynamic focus when you wake up in the morning. If you happen to look over at a closet that's just overflowing with stuff, how it can drain energy out of you as you start the day. And that's your beginning. That's your first breath of air when you get up in the morning. It's really important what you see and how you take on your day. So something as simple as that energetically can affect you. So we're always looking for things that lift you and make you feel good. So that's another very simple thing to think about. And in the bedroom, since we're on relationship topic, if you're in a relationship, it's nice to have artwork that's even something that both you and your spouse love. It could be a place you love, and it could be a picture of Italy, which is your favorite place to go together, or it could be two people biking if that's what you enjoy doing together. Or it could be a winery, a photo of a winery because you love going to wineries. Something that you both really enjoy to bring it in to the bedroom is in artwork, etc., is a really nice addition for Feng Shui, just to create that good feeling. So that's something else to think about.
Cindy, are you able to work with people in a non-local way?
Yes, I do Skype consultations, even in Europe, all over the world. I can do Skype. I usually start with them sending me some photographs, and we talk about what they're working on in their lives and that type of thing. And then we'll do a Skype consultation, and it works out beautifully. I love Skype. And then afterwards, if they have more questions, of course, we're in touch. But, yes, I'm able to do it anywhere, so that works very nicely.
Now, is there a website you have people can find out more and get in touch with you?
Yeah, there is, but I'm in the process of redoing it. It's Feng Shui Savvy. Right now, the website is fengshuisavvy.net, but I'm doing a new website, just syndicated.com, which is going to be up within the next month. So the best way to get a hold of me right now is with my phone number, which is 503-713-8014, or my email, which is breathekindness2000.com, at gmail.com, I'm sorry. Breathe, B-R-E-A-T-H-E, kindness, 2000 at gmail.com. And those are probably the best ways to get a hold of me till my website gets up and rolling again, redoing it all. It's going to be nice. So giving it a little space clearing out that old energy and bringing in the new.
There you go. That's what Valentine's Day should be a catalyst of, as you start from this period forward and see how you can boost your romance or attract the romance that you're looking for in a relationship. Cindy, thank you so much for being here on the program with us today.
Well, you're so welcome, Daniel. And I wanted to mention that I have a few certification classes coming up, too, that I teach certification to practitioners. And I have one coming up starting this month that will be an intensive in Sedona, Arizona in May. And I have one coming up starting next month that will take place with the 7-day intensive in Portland in June. So I just wanted to mention that if anybody's interested, and I'd be happy to do consults from Portland or anywhere.
Sounds like fun. Cindy, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Daniel.
Happy Valentine's to you, and happy Valentine's to our listeners out there. This is the Beyond 50 radio program. I'm Daniel Davis, reminding you be sure to visit us at beyond50radio.com. We do have our weekly exclusive updates for our listeners. Find out more about that and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Thanks again for tuning in, and remember, live your day past